Class 6, Unit 3, 6 dots, Jen Bryant. My life changed that day. I had been playing with Papa's awl. It proved too sharp for my eyes. "You're too careless, Louie," Papa cried in distress. A healer bandaged my eye, but the bandage itched so much. My hands, like the sparrows in the trees, were small and quick. I couldn't keep them away. I didn't mean to make things worse. But I did. The infection spread to my other eye until I could see nothing at all. No trees or sparrows, no faces, no loaves of bread. By the time I turned 5, I was completely blind. My world was dark and dangerous. I stumbled about the house, banging into the chairs, the walls, the door. My body ached. "Where is the sun?" I cried. But the sun did not come. I sat by the window, training my ears to do what my eyes could not. Clang, bang, kish, kish. That was Papa in his shop. Swoosh, swish, swoosh, swish. Long-skirted ladies hurrying to market. Clamp, 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 stomp. Soldiers marching down the street. Grrr, grrr, rough, rough, grrr. The neighbor's angry dog, chained too tight. My family did what they could. Papa made a wooden cane. Each day I walked a little, tap, 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 counting the steps between the house and the garden, the vineyard and the chicken coop, the bakers and the millers, and back to Papa's shop. My brother taught me to whistle, and when the sound echoed back, it warned me of things in my path. My sisters made a straw alphabet to feel and read. Papa made letters of the alphabet for me with leather strips, or by pounding round-topped nails into boards. With Maman, I played dominoes, counting the dots with my fingertips. The village priest taught me to recognize trees by their touch, flowers by their scent, and birds by their song. "Do you have books for blind children?" I asked him. "No, Louis," the priest replied. "I'm sorry." When I was older, I went to school with the other village children. All day, they wrote down words and numbers or read aloud from printed pages. I sat in the front row, listening and memorizing. "Do you have books for blind children?" I asked my teacher. "No, Louis," the teacher replied. "I'm sorry." But I didn't want people to feel sorry for me. I just wanted to read and write on my own, like everyone else. That was when a neighbor of mine, a marquise with influence, got me admitted to the Royal School for the Blind in Paris. I was excited. I was told there would be books for the blind in the school, but Maman thought I was too young to be away from home. I was only 10 then. "I love you," I told Maman and Papa, "but I must go." At the school for the blind, a guide led me to the library. He taught me to read by tracing the raised letters on a board with my fingers. My fingers traced each letter, just as I had done with the letters Papa had made for me at home. But the board was long, and the letters were too large. I had to turn the page after only a few sentences. The words were as large as my hand. A sentence took up half a page. I sighed. Even if I read 100 books like this, how much could I learn? The next day, the headmaster summoned a meeting of the students. Everyone had gathered in the big room. Dr. Pignet, the headmaster, spoke to us. "A French army captain has invented a code to send secret messages during war. The code is read by touch, not by sight, so we might use it here too."
"You're each holding a message written with patterns of dots," the headmaster continued. "Each pattern stands for a sound, such as oo or ch." We listened as he explained. It wasn't easy. There was a lot to remember. Flipping my paper over, I moved my fingers from left to right, feeling the dots. "Fall back," I suddenly shouted with excitement. Everyone laughed. It was a battle order, of course, but now my heart pounded with hope. I asked for another. Again, I touched the dots. "Supplies arrive at dawn," I read. The others shouted out their messages too. The headmaster taught me to make dot patterns with a stylus on a paper kept under a wooden frame. I made a few of the dot patterns, then flipped the paper to read them by touch. For many weeks, I practiced. The code was different from the normal alphabet. The code stood for sounds, not letters. Why shouldn't we spell words and write sentences like people with normal eyesight? I thought. I set to work on the idea. Late at night, while the others slept, I bent over my slate and punched the pages. I tried hundreds of ways to simplify the captain's code. I worked until my back was stiff and my fingers ached. A year passed, then another and another. That winter I turned 15. I was often sick, but I wouldn't rest. Finally, it was ready to test. I asked the headmaster to choose a book from his own library, a book I had never heard of before. "Please read it aloud, sir," I said. Dr. Pinier began. After a few minutes, I interrupted. "You can go much faster, sir." As he read, I copied down the words, spelling each one correctly. My new code used just 6 dots, arranged in 2 columns, like dominoes. Each dot pattern stood for a letter of the alphabet. The headmaster stopped reading when he came to the end of the chapter. I turned my pages over. Reading by touch, I recited the entire chapter. "Louis, you did it!" the headmaster shouted.
Word spread quickly. The other students rushed to try it. "So easy," they said, "and so fast. We can read words and write letters like everyone else." Yes, I had done it. Adapted.